Hey guys, how are you today? How are you? How are you? I am super excited to be on with you guys. I am doing a live today. I was going to record yesterday, but then everything just didn't go as planned. Like I was going to record Monday. I received my results on Monday. I was going to do it on Monday, but I just been working a lot. So bear with me, guys. I love y'all. I'm sorry because I really wanted to sit down and do like a recorded video and all that and things, but it didn't go as planned. But no excuses. I'm here. I'm going to do this video for you guys now. So, with that being said, um, test results. So, if you see me on last Wednesday, you know that I went to go get my STD screening and I also went to get my pap smear. So for my young individuals who are on here who are like, preteens, whatever, I know you guys watch my channel. I want you to know what a pap smear is. Also, my men, you need to know a pap smear is when you get a woman get checked for cervical cancer of any sort. As you know, HPV can also be cancerous depending on what strand, which is tons of strands. It's like over 200 and something strands of HPV. Every strand of HPV is not cancerous, and typically they don't do anything for HPV. They kind of go away on its own. That's one that's like we really gonna have to talk about HPV because it's a curve to it. Because many women that I know get HPV in the middle of them finding that they have herpes, so it just seemed like too much to handle all at once. Okay. But I'm super excited to share. So I ended up getting my screening on last Wednesday. I hadn't been tested for a whole year. Typically get tested every year. I only had one sexual partner last year. Um, so I only had one sexual partner. Sorry, not even last year. Did I have sex at all last year? No, I didn't have sex at all last year. Okay, I had sex this year. Okay, I have to be like really candid. But yeah, I had a partner this year. We were sexual active earlier this year. So that's the only person I was with. And with that being said, I was like trying to get tested because we're not together anymore, and I was behind on my pap. So, and I ended up getting my IUD taken out. I have Mirena, so I had taken that out. I had my last son 5 years. Well, he's 6 now. So 5 years ago, I had it in, and I wanted to take it out. Hey! So I wanted to take that out. I was like, I ain't having sex. It's time to take it out. Let me give my vagina a break, my hormones a break. And just let my cycle come back on regularly. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm doing. And I ain't liking it because I got cramps. I had a slight period. I don't know what that is. I have no clue what that is. That's not my type of life. So it is what it is. So let's get into this. So when I went in, it's interesting. I've been wanting to go into this OBGYN. It's really close to my house. So I went there. I ended up going inside, no problems, went inside. When I called to make my appointment, they asked me basic questions, what do you want to get tested for? I said, she was like, well, we're going to test you for gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomoniasis, Hep C, and that's it. Okay, that's all she said. That's what their general test you for. It's important to know what your doctor's office just tests for because that means you gotta ask for everything else. Okay, don't just assume that they test you for everything. That's was my mistake before I even found out I had herpes. That was my biggest mistake, assuming that if I say everything, that's including everything. That's not the case nowadays. Just ask, guys. Just ask. Many doctors often mess around and they'll just tell you. Mine did. They were just being thorough and telling me, but it's good to ask. And then she told me, if you want HIV and herpes, you have to ask for it. So I said, yes, I want to get tested for that. And she said, that's going to be by blood. I said, okay, cool. So when I get into the office, I did my paperwork, COVID still, so they ask you all these questions. So I went back pretty fast. When I went back, I went to get my vitals, weight, blood pressure, things like that, and then they did the history. So in the history, she asked me, have you had any STIs? I said no. I did that on purpose because I wanted to see, and in my first time there, so I wanted to see what they want to do when my herpes did pop up. Hey, boo. So in the midst of that, She asked me that. She asked me, breast cancer, high blood pressure, all that stuff in my background. Have you ever had any STIs? Have you ever experienced any abnormal pap smears or anything like that? Which I have not ever. So I told her no for everything. Okay, so I did on purpose. Purpose. Okay, and this is for any individuals as well. If you want to go get tested again, do not tell them that you have herpes. They're not going to test you again. Okay, test start. Now you got some nice OBGYNs that will, but most will not. They just won't because they say you got tested for it. Correct. They won't tell you that. Just don't tell them anything. Just get tested normally to get what you need. Especially for my individuals who want to get retested multiple times just to make sure, or a doctor told you to get retested, but they said they don't want to do it. All these things like that. And now my mama want to call. Nope, she don't have to wait. So with that being said, guys, I did all that. So my mama just threw my brain off, y'all. Yeah, so just don't tell them at all. Don't tell them at all. So went into the room. The OBGYN came in, which is crazy because the OBGYN, I hope y'all can see me. Like my phone. Like the lighting is. Sorry, y'all. I hope y'all can see me. Ugh. I'm just trying to get this light out of my face. Okay, so the OBGYN came in, told you to take clothes off, all the stuff like that. Interestingly, I know the OBGYN. Her mother was my grandmother's nurse until my grandmother died. So that was so funny, but I didn't tell her. I don't remember if her grandmother ever told her what I did for a living, but I don't think she remembered. So me and her checking it out and cracking it up, whatever, checking on her and her family and things like that, and telling her mom is great. So she ended up doing the pap. So she was like, I want to test you for everything, swab, all this stuff. So in the midst of that, they called me on Wednesday. When they called me on Wednesday, they was like, hey, Miss Spivey, this is from your blah, 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 blah office. I was like, hi, how are you? She was like, do you have a couple of minutes to talk? I said, yeah, absolutely. I was in the car just like I am now. So I was like, yeah, cool. And I knew that what they were about to tell me anyway. Anytime, I'm telling you now, anytime a doctor's office call you, you have approved for them to call you. Make sure when you're doing your paperwork that you let them know how you want them to contact you. If you know you work Monday through Friday from 9 something to 5, I wouldn't suggest you let them call you. Put it in the portal, things like that. Or tell them to call you and just, tell them not to leave you any messages, or tell them to call you and say, can you just come into the office? You do not want these type of calls at work. Many of you guys got these type of calls at work, and it's devastating, okay? It's super devastating. Most of y'all guys end up leaving work because of it. I wouldn't suggest doing that at all, okay? It's not fun. So make sure you pay very much attention to how you want to be communicated to. Because, like, again, my stuff is called. They can call me, leave a voicemail, or also in my portal, which I am going to do a video of how it looks in my portal, because I want to know if they did my numbers. I also want to know if they did an IgG or IgM, which I'm going to also explain it so y'all can see it too, because many of you guys like, at least I don't understand it. I want y'all to see it on my side so y'all understand it too, because every portal looks different. And my test went through, God, what's the name of that? Quest Diagnostics. That's typically the most popular one. So you'll be able to see what Quest Diagnostics look like, their testing looks like. Okay? Because every lab is different, so their paperwork look different. So she called. She's like, okay, Miss Spivey, just let you know, I just want to tell you about your test results. I said, okay, great. Let you know they always tell you what you're negative for first. Okay? Always tell you what you're negative with first. They never drop the bomb first with STIs. They always tell you negative, positive first, what you're negative for, and then what you're positive for, okay? So it was like, okay, Miss Spivey, well, just let you know you're negative for gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomoniasis. I didn't know they did Hep C, Hep A, and Hep B, which, if anybody knows, it's all three. It's 3 of them. We typically just know about Hep C, but we have 3. So they test me for that, which interestingly, they did not test me for syphilis, which guys, we need to include that time to time because syphilis is still rampant. It's not going anywhere. It's still here and it's very dangerous. So please, every once in a while, please get tested for syphilis just as a check, okay? So she said you're negative for that. Your pap smear was fine. It's positive, it's normal. She said, but I do want to let you know that you were exposed to herpes type 1 and type 2. So I'm gonna act dumb. So I was like, what do you mean exposed? I like, what do you mean? She was like, oh, it's basically saying that, you came in contact with it, so you have antibodies for it, but it's not saying that you have the virus. I said, what that mean? That don't make any sense. Like, she said the only way we'll know for sure that you have it is if you have an outbreak. I said, okay, so what do I do? I said, do I need any treatment? She was like, no, you only need treatment if you have an outbreak. I said, okay. And I was like, well, do I need to tell my partner? She was like, well, you can tell your partner that you've been exposed, but it's really no big deal. Like, it's really nothing to do. Like, you can tell them that, but it's no real reason. It's no way to know that you really have it. She said, I really don't like this antibody test because anybody can have antibodies, but there's no clear reason that you got confirm that you have the virus. Number one, I hate that because let me give you an example. And I know this is so far-fetched, but everybody can understand where I'm coming from here. Right now, we're in the middle of a pandemic. As anybody know, the test for COVID is an antibody test, okay? Same as herpes, antibody test, okay? All of us tend to get exposed to COVID. That doesn't mean you have to the point that you're going to have symptoms, which causes us to be asymptomatic many times, okay? Asymptomatic is a big deal right now with COVID because many people are asymptomatic, passing the virus and giving it to people, and people are getting really, really sick and dying. Some people are really getting really sick and going to the hospital and being ICU, all right? So with that being said, for me, I don't like that because if I'm asymptomatic with COVID, I gotta be number one. I found that out because I just went to get swabbed, but they were like, "Oh, you don't have any symptoms, whatever." So you're probably asymptomatic. Let's quarantine you and let's come back and get you tested again to make sure your numbers are good. So my whole thing is, if the antibodies don't matter as much as they say for herpes, then why do they matter for COVID? Because it's a positive and negative on both sides. So this is bullcrap to me, and I can't stand it. I had to use that analogy, not saying that COVID, herpes is like COVID, because COVID is killing people. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about test results wise. Test results wise, it's still antibodies, it still matter, and it's still present. Just because I don't have any symptoms or have any outbreaks doesn't mean I don't have it. It's not like a doctor calling you and say, oh, you got cancer. It's not really doing anything, but not going to really tell you not to do anything. That's dumb. Like, it's dumb, y'all. I'm not even going to lie. I don't like that. I don't like that because truthfully, for me, she's probably was thinking like she's so calm. You know how many people are getting told that they're exposed? Because I have many people get on my phone and say, Belize, do I have herpes? Yes, you do, baby. You're just not having an outbreak. And now you're freaking out because you're like, I'm not having I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Hold on, y'all. My mama keep calling me. Like, mommy, no. She don't want none, y'all. I swear she don't. So at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. Like, they're saying we're exposed. And they're saying the test is no good because it's just saying we have antibodies. If you don't have an outbreak, you don't have herpes. You can't tell me just because I don't have any outbreaks, I don't have something. That's no logic. I'm sorry, y'all. My mama asking me where I'm at, okay? Work, woman. I'm on my way to work. Okay. So that is traumatic. Like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, I wish I could have just cried and like fell out in the floor and see what happened. Like, I wish I was a little bit more dramatic, but I couldn't be dramatic because I had it for 10 years. But I can only imagine how hard that is for any of you guys who just received that type of answer. or got that information, it's irritating because it's like, do I have it or not? And to them, they're saying if you don't have an outbreak, you do not have herpes. That's not fair to say. That don't say that to people because, okay, now for example, you tell me I don't have it. I don't say anything to my boyfriend, or partner or husband. I don't say a word. One day I have an outbreak, and voila, voila. Okay, and now I'm freaking out. Now I'm freaking out. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's what's happening. Why did the doctor remember like that? I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm gonna have to get a doctor on here and figure that out. I don't know. I have no earthly idea. I don't know. But that's my story. I wanted to share that with y'all. Let me call my mama back because she calling like she dying. Okay. So let me call my mom back. But I love you guys. I hope that put things in perspective. It happened to me. This is my story. I have herpes type 1, type 2. I was just exposed, but I know I have herpes because I have outbreaks. But I'm telling you guys, please don't get stuck in that. I don't want you to think just because you exposed you don't have it. You do have it. Okay? You do have it. You just don't have any outbreaks. You don't have to have any outbreaks to have a virus. To have that. You don't. All right? So I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to come over here and do a Q&A. All right? Bye.